And that's why I don't think Taylor Swift should be allowed to make more music. I mean, you can't just tweet that, you know.
Yeah, they her team tried to bury it. Oh, we're on the internet.
Oh, hey, you remembered this time.
There's
Thank
people.
you.
You're welcome.
There's people.
People watching.
No. Why are there people? That's bad. Well, I guess they chose us over the Bulls game and Monday Night Football. Go us!
Woohoo!
The number 17 rated show on Monday
on White Sox Twitter
in this market.
Yeah, woohoo! We
did it. We're making progress. We're moving up the rankings.
Moving on up, baby. That's
show. That is this show. Welcome to the show, everybody. We're on episode number 6 of Talking Out Our Ass. So last time it looked a little different. You know, our current host couldn't be here this week, so I took over for her. So, you know, I don't know if you guys were tuned into the last one, but our guest was fine. He, could have been better, but we'll move past it. So, how are you doing today, Stoop?
I'm living the dream. I'm ecstatic about this guest we've got today, and I'm excited. I'm a little bit nervous, and I've got a little tingling to see what he's got in store for us.
Where are you tingling?
Like the side of the left butt cheek, like over off on the side there.
You might need to just like move in your chair, get some blood flow going, because it sounds like you're going numb. But
it's also there's like a bit of a ringing in my ear on that side too, and kind of taste copper.
I'm no doctor, but you might want to go to one.
Well, you might be a doctor.
I'm no doctor, but you might be one. That's a new game show. I'm not a doctor, but you might be one.
Tune in for our new game show. Is anyone a doctor?
We'll just have horrible medical things happening.
Yeah, I just have a stroke on air, and then we just find out if anyone's a doctor. And there's probably one episode because I'm probably gonna die.
We couldn't find a doctor, so he didn't win the money.
And he's dead.
And he's now dead. Oh boy. So for those of you who haven't seen this show before, the concept of the show is Stoop and myself, who are experts in absolutely nothing, bring on a guest here who brings a topic that we don't even know about until they bring it on the show. So without further ado, let's bring our guest on, everybody. It is Steve Kniss.
What's up, guys?
Steve, how are you?
I'm good. How are you all doing?
I'm okay.
I'm not gonna have a stroke tonight, so we should be good. Hopefully, this won't be the 6th and final episode.
We had to cancel the show. People are getting strokes.
Hey,
too many people died last year.
Can't do it.
It was like Squid Game. Oh boy. So, Steve, we've been, talking back and forth trying to get you on the show. So it's good to finally have you here. So.
I'm happy it finally worked out. It's vacation week, right? So
perfect.
Like I was telling you guys before, I've got the grandma aesthetic behind me as I'm finding the one room that is unoccupied right now.
And what a beautiful grandmother you're making right now.
Oh, thank you.
Perfect.
Yeah. More grays coming in. I can feel it.
The room is settling in my gray.
Yeah.
It's like 1408, but worse. So, Steve, you're familiar with the show and the concept of the show. So
I am, but not fully familiar with what the topics have been so far.
So
I got in one.
Okay,
the first one.
Well, so you mentioned before we got on the air here that there was one of the shows, the topic was gay sex, but that was actually on a previous show called Talking Out My Ass.
A very
different show.
Right.
Very different show.
This is the collective.
We don't want to get sued by,
This show has featured what did Yumper have? Something about movies?
Movies that could be real life scenarios.
Nice.
Andrew then brought us
John Wayne Gacy.
Great.
Who could forget?
And then we had Baloney talked about Taylor Swift's dating record.
That's right.
Matt Zawoski brought us Scandival.
Oh yeah, I did watch that one. Yes.
And then 2 weeks ago, our idiot guest brought up the topic of comedy. So
How much are you all holding on to the information that you're actually learning in these episodes?
very, very, very little.
Talk me through Scandival right now.
It's a Vanderpump Rules thing, and this guy did sex to a lot of women.
He did sex to a lot of women.
Nailed
Yeah.
it. Okay,
Yeah.
you're holding on to all of it. I don't think
Every
there was more to
single,
it.
every morsel, every detail, nothing gets past us.
Awesome.
Every morsel.
Every single one.
All right, Steve. So what would you like us to interview you about?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get into it. So there was a part of me that wanted my topic today to just be Steve Kniss. And just like use this as an hour-long therapy session. I thought that might be too self-indulgent. So the topic today. Let's talk about Puro Yakyu.
Spell that for me.
Puro, Puro.
Okay.
And Yakyu, Yakyu.
Why me? I don't know. All right. Steve, what the fuck is that?
All right. That is what the Japanese refer to as what we know as the NPB, or the Nippon Professional Baseball League out of Japan.
Okay.
Yeah.
That narrows it down very little for me.
I didn't know they called it that.
Puro Yakyu.
What the fuck? All right.
Yeah.
Do you watch a lot of NPB, which is what I'm calling it?
Yeah, we can call it NPB. That's fine. Do I watch a lot of NPB? If I find myself up in the middle of the night, maybe. But typically we'll like check in on scores and stuff after, in seasons like this one where like our professional baseball team was hot garbage. It is nice to have a superior product to go to in times like that.
Well, I'm glad the answer wasn't no, because this would be a weird topic to bring if the answer was no.
Never seen it. Never even heard of it before.
No, the answer is sometimes.
Good enough.
All right. I'm an expert. Let's do it.
How many teams are there in the NPB?
Great. I'm glad you asked. That's a great question. There are 12 teams that make up the entire of the NPB. It is very similarly structured to Major League Baseball in that there are two leagues, the Central League and the Pacific League. Each of those leagues consist of 6 teams. I can give you all the names if you want. The Central League will have the Dragons, the Tigers, the Toyo Carp, great logo out of Hiroshima, the Swallows, the Bay Stars, and then the Giants, the Yomiuri Giants, which famous team. Everybody knows who the Yomiuri Giants are. We can get into them a little bit later. And then
everybody knows that.
Everybody knows who they are. And then the Pacific League, where you will have your Chiba Latte Marines, the Hawks, the Fighters, the Buffaloes, the Lions,
Fighters,
the Golden Eagles. Yeah, the Ham Fighters.
Fighters.
You're right. Yeah, the Hokkaido Nippon
Fighting
ham. Yeah.
I just found out about them the other day. That was a very exciting day for me.
Yeah.
Also, I'm proud of everyone here, particularly Sam, for not asking if the Hiroshima Carp have 3 eyes. Just want to pat us on the back because no one made that joke. Certainly not me just now.
I was going to ask how their baseball stadium held up.
Oh, boy.
That's worse.
That is definitely worse. But it's a beautiful stadium. All of the stadiums beautiful. 12 teams, 12 stadiums. This one I'm not sure of. I want to say 4 or 5 cities. So it's a small number of like areas where the teams are actually located.
The populated, the more densely populated metropolitan areas, I'd assume. Have you been to any of these?
I have never been to Japan. I haven't. I would love to go at some point. I think Every time I see highlights, it just feels like a big party.
Yeah, no, their games look fucking awesome, man.
Yeah.
They really do. I do have a friend, my co-host on another podcast I do, has lived in Japan and has been to a number of the ballparks and just nothing but rave reviews there.
Nice.
Sweet flex, bro.
Yeah, that's totally me flexing. I know someone who's been to Japan.
I also have a friend who has been to Japan before. So it's
sick.
I love that we have this together.
I guess I gotta find a friend who's been to Japan. I'm very alienated in this conversation now. Who?
I'll tell you why I brought this tonight to talk about. Because again, our team sucks, but there are lots of fun facts that I think the two of you would love. Maybe first and foremost is that their playoffs are called the Climax Series, which is very fun.
That is fun.
Very fun fact.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
I'm having fun with that fact.
Great.
Yeah.
So anytime you hear somebody talk about the Climax Series, it's the NPB playoffs.
Okay.
I just figured it was a porn category, but
And so no one can call the postseason anticlimactic. They kind of got out ahead of that one.
Yeah.
They kind of nipped that in the bud there. That's
very popular.
Good marketing.
Google Climax Series. It'll just take you to baseball and nothing else.
Okay. I will do that.
Great.
On great recommendation. I will do that.
Yeah. Other fun facts. Ties exist in the game. Yeah.
They wear ties.
They're extra. They're probably the mascots. Yes. They're extra inning rules, much better than Major League Baseball. Because if it's tied after 12 innings, it's a tie and it's okay.
Yeah, I'd take that.
That's okay.
Best of 7, which is the Japan series, the championship series, the top team from each league. It could theoretically go 8 games because they also have that rule in the playoffs, and I think that's happened one time in their history where there was a game 8.
Now that's interesting.
What if they kept tying?
They would keep playing more and more games.
That's insane.
It's insane.
I don't mind the tie in the regular season, but the postseason,
it's incredible.
That brings down a whole new element, though.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Wow, imagine those ticket prices because you can't schedule for a fucking game.
Right, we tied game 7.
Yeah, tie game 7. Damn. And it was a bullpen game. We knew that if we could get to a game 8, we could bring our ace back.
So we were playing for the tie. That's all you ever have to do.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Huh? Yeah. Who won it most recently? Which one?
Who won it most recently? That would be the Hanshin Tigers. They beat the Oryx Buffaloes. This was a 7-game series. A number of their championship series do go 6 and 7 games, so they tend to be more exciting, I think, than I feel like a lot of our World Series have not been great lately. Maybe that's revisionist history, but yeah, no, the Oryx Buffaloes lost their ace, who is maybe the guy that you would know or at least hear talked about, and why it's a great topic to bring tonight. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, who was posted today.
My guy.
The guy, but he had been their game 6 starter for the Buffaloes, and then they lost game 7. But that was the one where he 14 strikeouts and like 140 pitches or something.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
Japanese baseball still believing in starting pitchers.
Good. God damn it. They should. Everyone should.
Yeah.
Pitch count is silly and we pay way too much attention to it. Fuck.
100%.
There's nothing magical about 100 pitches. If a guy's cooking, he's cooking. That makes me mad. Sam, what do you got?
Watch the NPB. You wouldn't have to deal with that.
I may.
You'll get less angry about pitchers.
I may just do that.
It's your therapy. Do we know any former major leaguers that have made their way over there?
We do, actually, including longtime family friend to all of us, Matt Davidson.
Oh, yeah.
Successful year this season. This is his first season over there. I think he had like 19 home runs.
Hell yeah.
He got sent down at some point and played on their minor league team for a while, but that's Matt Davidson for you.
Did he play as a two-way player?
He did not.
Dang.
Yeah.
How many games?
That dream is dead.
How many games do they play in the regular season?
They play 143.
Oh, that's so much better. Fuck.
And it's way more like league. Each league. So this is where it gets a little interesting. Each league is like a standalone entity. So they don't coordinate that much until the final. So they play 25 games each against the other 5 teams in their league. And then they play a 3-game series against each team that's in the other league.
I love that.
Just breaking down the math. I was like, there's 12 teams and 143 games here.
Yeah. So 5 times 25 and then an extra 18 games against the other league.
I love that. That's great. God, why can't we do that? 162 is too damn many, man.
I'm telling you, it's a superior product.
Yeah, you're selling me. What is the season like the same place in the calendar?
For the most part, yeah. I think the Japan series wrapped up maybe a week before the Rangers and Diamondbacks. So it's on roughly. They start a little bit later, but they end about the same time. Also, way more consistent schedule. Every Monday is off unless there is a postponement, and they make it up that time. They don't have double headers, and they just play a 3-game series Tuesday through Thursday, and then a 3-game series Friday through Sunday, and then every Monday is off. So you don't have to like keep this. Wait, is our team off Monday or Thursday this week, or are they weirdly off Friday because they're doing a 2-game series Saturday, Sunday? There's none of that. It's just very consistent schedule.
Yeah, today we have a fucking 1:00 game on a Tuesday, and we know that you're all at work, but fuck you.
But were you going to come anyway? Probably not. So this is how we can.
That's kind of a personal question, isn't
it? No, that's for the Climax series.
Yeah, it's for the Climax series. Yeah.
Save your questions for the Climax series. Now, is this where Shohei came from originally?
This is where Shohei came from. Yeah. So let's
good, Sam. Japan.
Let's get into the players. Yeah. So obviously, big deal, right? Shohei Ohtani, greatest player any of us have ever seen.
That's not even close to true. Andrew Vaughn
greatest
right
player.
There. Andrew Vaughn is literally right there.
Ever seen. So the first Japanese player, 1964. Do you know who it was?
Oh, to break into the big leagues?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Hideki Matsui.
It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt when you tell me.
No, I don't think you're gonna know it.
Okay, go ahead.
He played for 2 weeks.
Damn.
Masanori Murakami came over in 1964 as part of a 3-player sort of like cultural exchange. Like it's a very interesting thing where one of the teams, I forget which team it was, but essentially sent 3 players to the Giants to put them in their like single A minor league series, play with this team. We want them to get experience. We don't have minor leagues set up yet. Turns out one of them, this guy, was actually pretty good. So September rolls around and the Giants are like, "Hey, why don't you come up? Why don't you come up and pitch for us?" And he does pretty well. So the Giants then go to this team. I think it might have been the Bayhawks, and say, "Hey, we want to sign him for another year. He was really good. We want him to be in the league." And they're like, yeah, we have no interest in that. We weren't giving you these players. This was just a one-time thing." And so he is returned to his team in Japan. And then it's another 30 years until the next Japanese-born player, who is, you should know this one. No.
Ichiro?
No. Hideo Nomo.
Oh, no.
Oh, Hideo Nomo.
That would have been
one of the best deliveries.
One of the best deliveries.
Fun wind.
Like if you grew up in the 90s, which I think is all 3 of us, you were imitating the Hideo Nomo
For sure.
wind up. You were imitating Ichiro's swing. Like it was these guys were coming over and just doing things that were completely different than what we had been taught just in American baseball. So yeah, in terms of like NPB players, I think the thing that like gets people to keep coming is the Climax series first and foremost. And when players have come over here and been successful, Hideo Nomo, rookie of the year, and ends up having a 15-year career, something like that. Almost got with the White Sox for a little bit.
Sure. Seat at the table.
They signed him. They signed him for a minor league contract. This is towards the end of his career. And he was
typical.
He played with Charlotte for like 2 months and then he got cut. So
sounds about
almost had Hideo Nomo.
To briefly go back to the guy in the 60s that came over. I don't want to discount the idea that it was his idea to go back, because like
that's true.
I can't imagine. I mean, at least they were in fucking California where all of the Japanese people were, but it's still you're fresh from Japan in the 1960s
Absolutely.
in the United States in the fucking minors. That, whoo.
Yeah.
I mean, goodness gracious, that had to be fun for him.
It's wild.
So I can't.
No one really
can't imagine why he wanted to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
100%. So people give credit to kind of Hideo Nomo for like bringing more Japanese players, and then of course we get Ichiro, we get Kazuhiro Sasaki, who was also a rookie of the year the year before Ichiro. Like those were those early 2000s Mariners teams that brought both of those guys. They both win rookies of the year. Hideki Matsui, who you said
Matsui is the next one.
That's 2003 when he comes over. Kazuo Matsui was another one who's now he's a
Fukudome.
Yeah. And then there's a little bit of a break, right? Like the Sox get their 2 players.
I was gonna say they got a Gucci.
Yeah. Who else did they get? The
Shingo. Shingo, man.
The year before Gucci.
My
the whirly ball. Woo!
My guy.
Give me the third player, the other Japanese-born player that has played with the Sox.
With the White Sox. So you've
Fukudome?
No.
Fukudome.
Wait, he did? Wait, what?
Yeah.
For like 20 games. It was a short,
like 2012 or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh boy, add that.
Very short stint.
Add that
That's
to
a
the
good
list.
pull, Sam. That's a real good
pull. White Sox signing a guy strictly based off his name and not how he's playing when they sign him.
Yep.
Very surprising. I mean, not in the team's history at all to do that sort of thing.
It's never backfired.
Never, ever, ever.
So here's where things don't make sense to me as a White Sox fan. Also, a reason I wanted to bring this topic tonight is you get Shingo in 2004. He's awesome. He's not in 2005. He gets cut, and then Bobby Jenks comes out of nowhere because they don't have a closer.
Well, Dustin Hermanson in between.
Exactly, yeah. And then Iguchi in 2005, who is awesome, like great. He's with them for what? 2 years, 3 years?
2 or 3 years.
They sell. They
I
trade
think
him.
they trade him in. Yeah, I think they traded him in offseason 07.
But so you had these 2 really big successes of signing international players, at least for the year that you signed them, and then nothing. And like when you are running a franchise where you refuse to pay American-born players what they are worth, and so you can consistently lose out on these top free agents, I feel like you're needing to find where the market is not like pricing players correctly, and that's international players, and they've really only attacked one international market, Cuba.
And it's Cuba.
And there are some hits, right? There are
there was immediately thereafter, there was Alexi was the first.
Yeah. There are a couple
in this era.
Absolutely. They have hit on a number of their Cuban free agent signings. But if we want to look at historical success, players that come over from Japan, probably a bigger hit rate than the players that are coming over from Cuba. The league is a better league now. That's just that's a fact. It's probably the second highest quality professional league right now.
That would be first. I mean, first of all, yeah, I think that is. I think you're not going to get a lot of pushback on that. That like it's the NPB is number 2 behind the MLB worldwide, but that would be interesting to get a comparison, like percentage basis of successes from coming over from Japan versus coming over from Cuba. I'd be interested.
Yeah,
because I mean, there's a lot of historically there's a lot of good players that came over from Cuba too. We don't need to get into
exact numbers. You can just take my word for it that it's better. That the hit rate has been better.
I mean, you just have to look at the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah,
who won?
Yeah, just look at it. Just look at it.
Not Cuba.
I don't remember who won. Did Japan win?
No, United States. Mike Trout hit a 500-foot home run off that terrible, player pitching.
Yeah, what player was that?
Steve's guy.
I don't know.
Is it Steve's guy?
Yeah, Kodai Senga, that guy.
Kodai Senga. I don't think he played for Team Japan.
What?
Wait, who did play for team? Didn't Lars Nootbaar play for Team
Lars
Japan?
Nootbaar did play for
Lars
Team
Nootbaar
Japan.
played for Japan. A guy that's coming over, most likely, it hasn't been confirmed. It's all but confirmed, but Shota Imanaga is coming over. Should be with someone next year. He started the championship game against the U.S. But it
seems like we get a lot of pitchers.
Recently, yes. Recently, it's been a lot of pitchers. That started with kind of Yu Darvish. That's 2011.
Yeah.
Right? And then we get a run, right? It's Darvish, it's Masahiro Tanaka, Kenta Maeda, Yusei Kikuchi. We've started to have more position players recently with like Seiya Suzuki and the Yoshida with the Red Sox.
Right.
So at this point, we're looking at probably 1 to 2, maybe 3 players that get posted year to year, kind of over the last like 4 or 5 years. And I think it's going to start increasing. Like people are catching on to the fact that it's not AA. I mean, it's not Major League Baseball quality, but I would venture that the baseball is probably better than AAA. Yeah, and so it's somewhere in between. Like statistically, player stats are going to get worse coming over to play here. But if you are dominating, like Yamamoto, who for like the last 3 years has had an ERA that's like 2, getting slightly worse, is still really
pretty good.
Damn good.
Still pretty good.
Well,
the other thing is they
sorry, Jackie, you're not a third host, so I don't have the answer to that.
I mean, they come over here too, and it's a brutal season.
Yeah.
Oh God. I mean, I don't know. I assume a lot of their venues are probably indoor as well, and I can't imagine like coming over here and having to play, fucking Texas or wherever, and it's July, and you got it's a fucking gauntlet, man. 162 is just too many damn games.
I mean, maybe that's why. Who is the player? Arihara did not do well with Texas.
Yeah,
maybe that's the reason.
It's fucking hot here, and it sucks, and everything sucks here.
Sucks. Everything sucks. So it's like I said, superior product. So again, the market mismatch. It makes me so frustrated because Kodai Senga, awesome last year, right? My guy. You all know how much I love this guy.
He was on my fantasy team.
Second in the Rookie of the Year voting, and that's only because Corbin Carroll was incredible.
Signed
for 5 years and $75 million.
Steal.
That's it. That's $15 million a year.
Yeah, that's a Jerry rookie sight unseen deal.
Mike Clevenger was a $12 million guarantee last year. And then they're going to sign somebody else for 10 to 12 million this year and the next year and the next year. Just shell out a little bit, take a risk, and you get an SP2, maybe an SP1 for 15 million a year for 5 years.
Yeah,
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, I think the White Sox are probably going to be calling us to pitch this year. I don't think they have any intention of fucking signing anybody.
I mean, all of the I mean, if Steve's saying what he's saying is it's not exactly AAA, but it's quadruple A, which the White Sox specialize in. So they may all just go to Japan and kill.
Why does nobody care? It's just it doesn't make sense to me. So Yamamoto, he's the MLB trade rumors thinks he'll sign for over $200 million. He's out. We're not going to sign him. We got no chance.
If it's over 76 million, they're out.
We're done. Out. But Shota Imanaga, probably Kodai Senga-ish money. And I think he's going to be pretty decent. He's a little bit older. He's 30 years old, but I think he's going to be decent. Maybe you're not going 5 years because he's 30 years old. But there are other players that will be posted. Yuki Matsui, reliever, is probably going to get posted. If Rick Hahn was still the GM, I would think we might have a chance. But
any relation to Hideki Matsui?
No, it's a popular last name.
I thought you were going to ask Steve any relation to him.
Yeah, is he related to you, Steve?
Family resemblance.
Is your cousin? Yeah.
Now, Steve, I know your guy is Roki Sasaki, right?
Roki Sasaki is my big guy. Yeah, but we got to wait for a while with him. So those are the posting system rules. This is MLB shooting itself in the foot. Right?
What do you mean they've never done that before?
They have import rules like with cars.
They do, but it gets a little funky. So the posting rules work. If a player is still under contract, a team in Japan can post them for the MLB, right? That's what just happened today with Yamamoto. Yamamoto now has 30 days to agree to a new contract with a Major League Baseball team. That's going to happen, obviously. Nobody knows where at this point, but it's going to happen. Usually players will take most of that 30 days before they reach an agreement. Mm-hmm. Whatever the winning bid, whatever team wins, they then pay a tax to the team in Japan. It's like 20% of the first 25 million, 17.5% of the next 25, and then it's like 15% for everything over $50 million. So it usually ends up being a decent chunk of change. For somebody like Yamamoto, who's going to go over 200, that's going to be a lot of money. Oh, yes, Brian, with the hot news here, siding with Oakland. Who knew?
So you're paying like an import tax. It's like
if they are under contract. So another reason why Jerry is an idiot was Kodai Senga had just finished his contract. So there was no posting fee with him last year. There was no additional cost with signing him.
What if Shohei decides to go back, Jen?
That would be very surprising. Players there do not make near as much money as players do here.
He could shock the world signing a one-year deal with the U.S. Postal Service.
It would be amazing. But so MLB shoots itself in the foot because every international player that is under 25 has to abide by whatever their
martial law
contract rules are, right? So you can't
Sharia law.
Oh boy. So you can't pay them very much, right? There's a limit to, they have to be pool money contracts essentially. And teams just don't, the pool money is not that much anymore. And the Sox are constantly trading their money away anyway. So most players,
pools ain't worth what they used to be.
I was going to say, you should call Bobby the doctor for some pool money.
It's not. Most teams have to wait until most players will wait until they're 25 to ask to be posted, because then they know that they're going to make way more money as an international signing, as an international free agent.
That's interesting. So you could get an R32 Skyline, which just became legal to import this year, for all my car guys out there, or you could get like a serviceable starting pitcher.
I'll take the pitcher.
Jerry's going to be driving around the
Yeah, Jerry's out there Fast and the Furious street racing at 2 a.m. on Lower Wacker in his brand new R32 Turbo GTR, baby.
Because he doesn't play golf. He doesn't.
He's just got a bumper sticker that says "Fuck Yamamoto." I got a car.
He'd figure out a way to make it tax deductible. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, he would. So that's where we're at. Like, so Roki Sasaki, young, right? He's only 21, so he will likely not come over here until 2026.
Let me Google that and see what comes up. Roki Sasaki Young.
Great. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That'll be good too. Yeah. Do it with Climax series.
Climax series. Yeah.
Roki Sasaki Young Climax series.
Yeah. Great nicknames. Roki is the monster of Raiwa is his nickname. Another, as we talk these contract things, the other big player that people are waiting for is Munataka Murakami. His nickname, Murakami-sama, or Muragod, is basically the translation, which is
sick. Hell
just
yeah.
Beautiful. Third baseman, huge power hitter, set like the record last year in the NPB for most home runs by a Japanese born player, or something over 50. And he just renegotiated his contract, which essentially said, I'm going to play with you for the next 3 years, but you are guaranteeing that you will post me at the end of this contract because I will be over 25. And then there's another bit in the contract that says if the MLB change their rules so that this 25 years old number, which is ridiculous, goes lower.
It's actually that's interesting because it's 25.
I will also go lower.
25 is also the age for cars. I'm not kidding. I'm not even kidding. That's the rule.
That's probably how they decided.
Yeah.
Oh, what the cars
they based it on the fucking cars. Yeah. So so like 98 or 99 model year JDM Japanese cars just became like legal to import to the United States this year. It's been a big deal.
So you sign your 25-year-old with and they basically drive to the United States in the car that you are also importing.
That's right. It's like the inverse of Leonardo DiCaprio's law.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, no, Japan is Leonardo DiCaprio. This is once you turn 25. Get the hell out of here.
Japan is Leonardo DiCaprio. Flawless 1-to-1 comparison.
25, get out.
That is exactly it.
There's no notes. That's exactly correct.
Thank you.
I knew you would get it. You're getting it. You're getting it.
I'm learning.
What's also interesting about this 25-year-old rule is that there are not many players in Japan that play past that point, because you only have 12 teams. So there are older players, of course, right? But careers are shorter typically than what we will see with major league careers because you only have 12 teams. So there's just a lot more competition. Younger players tend to be prioritized. They also don't really develop talent the way that MLB does. So you also will see players that just kind of stall. Hopefully they'll be good when they first get up, but they don't really get better. And we're starting to see that now with players that have come over here. Working there's one player, I'm blanking on his name, but he worked with Driveline like the last 2 years in the off season, came to the United States and saw his velocity go way up. And it's just something that doesn't really exist in Japan. Most of these teams lose money, so they don't really put that much money into the product on the field.
I'm seeing way too many White Sox comparisons.
Yeah. Yes. They are basing the way they run their teams on the White Sox.
They're like, we want players to stall, and then we want to lose money and not.
Well, I assumed too that like if like a lot of the older, like if there are older players, it's probably Americans or just otherwise like foreign.
They're Americans
came over,
but there are rules there. Teams can't have more than 4 international players on their teams. So, and all 4 cannot be solely pitchers or solely position players. It has to be a mix.
Oh, don't give Sam any ideas.
It's a great question, Brian. The answer is 0 because it's a superior product.
And they don't have guns there. They don't know true freedom.
Well, what do they do if they get embarrassed?
I don't think that happens. I don't think that happens in Japan.
What, embarrassment?
Yeah, it doesn't exist.
Oh yeah.
Steve doesn't know Japanese customs, I guess.
I've seen TikTok videos of people that are visiting Japan for the first time and are like, I don't recognize any of this. Everything is so easy. Why do these things not exist where I am from?
Yeah, the toilets is really what makes me mad. They got these fancy toilets. You don't even need toilet paper. The thing just washes your hole and dries it up and makes it shiny and nice and new every time. And why can't we do that shit?
It's like a car wash for your ass.
Yeah, car wash. Why don't we have asshole car washes over here? Like, what the fuck, man?
Great question.
What do we even win wars for? That's my question, Steve.
I mean, historically, we've been very bad with the after the war part. That's where we struggle. That's really where we struggle. The war part, decent,
all right.
That's right. The after the war part, real bad.
Pretty bad. Real bad.
Yeah.
Well, it's because there's a new shiny war somewhere else we gotta go to.
That's true. Yeah.
We're like
the DiCaprio thing again. We need to go somewhere else. Yeah.
We're over this one. We gotta get it.
Yeah, this war is too old.
Yeah.
This war's been going on too long. Let's start a new one.
We're like a chain smoker with wars.
That's true.
Just chain smoking wars.
Yeah, that's that good tar in your lungs. That's good stuff. Is there a package I can buy to watch this product somehow, or
no? Mostly
you're blacked out on MLB.TV.
Blacked out. I have found Chicago is in
blacked out. Is that in the
in
tab
the-
next to the
market,
climax
so
series, or? Sorry, Steve.
Usually I find like an online link if there's a game that I want to watch. So like Roki Sasaki, I will occasionally try to wake up at like 5 a.m. to see part of his start. Lucky me, because they pitch pitchers as long as they should, I can tune in an hour and a half after the game started and still see a couple innings. To answer Andy's question, no, not really. I don't know for sure.
It'd probably be a lateral move.
Yeah,
at best.
I mean, it possibly as like a end of career type of thing, where we've got major leaguers that are going to Japan once they are deemed no longer good enough to play here. So you might get something like that. I don't know. It tends to be, I don't know. See, I think there tends to be a loyalty with Nippon Professional Baseball. I think part of it is that their roster, because you can only have 4 international players, most everyone is Japanese born. So unless you're good enough to go to the US, I think NPB is the top level for you.
Yeah. It's interesting that NPB has its own farm system too, because it feels like NPB is like kind of a farm system for Major League Baseball.
Some people feel that way. NPB fans don't like.
Some people feel that way, Sam. Some people feel that way.
The actual fans of the teams don't like, apparently, really angry whenever any highlight, like Pitching Ninja will post some highlight of Sasaki and all the comments are like, "Oh, great! When's he coming here? When's he coming here? When's he coming here?"
I'd be mad too.
Like, hey, we're our own league. We have teams.
I'd be mad. I'd be like, "Fuck you!" Like he plays here.
Yeah, it's different than like us watching Charlotte Knights highlights and being like, "Oh, I can't wait until Colson Montgomery gets here."
Charlotte fans like, "Hey, no,
no, he's ours.
You can't have him.
Yeah."
He's not ready yet.
You been to a Charlotte Knights game, Steve? Do you plan to go to one?
I will plan to go to one this summer at some point.
You gotta wait for
if Colson gets called up to AAA, but I wouldn't be surprised if he just goes straight from AA to majors whenever. But
You got to go for a rehab assignment game.
I could go for Eloy's couple weeks in April, maybe.
His first month in Charlotte.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I miss it, I'll probably catch him in May or June then as well.
I was gonna say when Eloy's down there in May and then again in July and then
It's only a couple hours from where I'm at right now, so it's like a quick little weekend trip.
That's perfect. Oh, so what's your exact location and social security number?
My social security number is 1234. Go fuck yourself. And the location is somewhere in the middle of North Carolina.
Somewhere right in the middle.
An undisclosed location in North Carolina. That's what
in North Carolina.
Yeah, that's what my VPN says when I'm trying to get into Japanese baseball.
Yeah.
Somewhere
baseball. I didn't know where that sentence was going.
No, yeah, the climax series.
All right, sure. Next to the climax series, next to Blacked Out. So
speaking of Blacked Out,
hey,
oh yeah.
The other things I wanted to bring up today is that there's a very seedy history to the NPB in that related to the Black Sox specifically, because Black Sox famous throwing the World Series, 8 players. Allegedly, you're right. Shoeless Joe, he played for real. You're right. Reinstate him. The NPB has something that is known as the Black Mist scandal. This was 1969 to 1971, where players throughout the league for many, many teams were all part of this score fixing scandal. So it comes out and like every team, I think every team but one has a handful of players that are losing on purpose, essentially. And so fans obviously stop going to the games. And so the league almost dies at that point because there's not like these players don't actually care, right? They're not actually playing these games to win. And it turns into this huge thing.
Incidentally, Black Mist also what they called me in college. So
that's 47 minutes, and we got a P reference. That's a record for you,
buddy. If you connected those dots, that's on you. Okay,
I know you well enough.
I said nothing of the sort. Okay. So, Steve, is the human race redeemable?
Not here in the United States.
Okay,
but in Japan, maybe.
Absolutely, 100%. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Superior product.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the country of Japan is a very
superior product, not just baseball, just overall.
Yeah.
It's just a superior product.
I mean, yeah. That's
true.
That's why Robert Oppenheimer felt so bad.
That's true. Yeah, he felt so bad.
Really bad. Yeah, I saw that movie. Yeah, he felt really bad.
He had a guilty conscience. He felt
what a bunch of good guys we are.
You know,
look how bad this makes us feel.
Yeah.
You know, I love that. I love when
ourselves.
Yeah, I love when the director of a movie has to put himself on screen to tell you how bad he feels. Tell you how much this matters to him.
Wait a second. That's not the movie we're talking about anymore.
Wrong movie.
Wait a second.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Shit. Who asked? I think I asked the last question, Sam.
Steve, who's like a name that you've been looking at that not many other people know about that you
besides Roki Sasaki.
Roki Sasaki, I already talked about
him. It's Roki Sasaki.
No, I know.
You've been talking about him forever.
Murakami, I think, is really exciting. Just a big power bat. He's a third baseman. By the time he comes over here, our third baseman I don't know where he's going to be.
Is he a third baseman like Vlad Guerrero Jr. was a third baseman?
He is actually, yeah. He had 22 errors this year, I think.
Like Miguel Sano was a third baseman.
He's probably going to be a first baseman, but he has the bat to be a first baseman. Another guy that I guess
Wait. So he has a bet. So he hits 250, 20 home runs, maybe 70 RBIs.
With the Sox, yes.
Perfect.
But with
all you need.
anybody else, probably 45 home runs.
That's just showing off at
260,
that point.
270. Yeah.
Don't need that.
But with us, I mean, lucky if he hits 20, 10 to 15 home runs.
Hey.
A huge
he's gonna spend most of the year hurt.
Most of White Sox Twitter will hate him.
Yeah.
But that's because they don't understand him.
They really don't.
That's all. Yeah. Kazumo Okamoto is another name to know. He would probably come over right now. He's 27 years old. He just led the league in home runs, but he plays for the Yomiuri Giants. Again, famously well-known team, Yomiuri Giants.
Sure. Yes.
And they do not like letting their players go to the major leagues. So
they do not like America.
Yeah, he will likely have to play out his contract, and that's another few years. And then hopefully he's still good enough to make the move at that point.
What did we ever do to them?
Well, the Yomiuri Giants.
They started it.
Yeah, I mean, they started the NPB, and so maybe they don't like that we are just taking their players. I don't know. Could be. They're like the Yankees. They've got the most championships of any team. But they started, but they're like the Yankees in that they just had a really good team when nobody really knew how to play baseball.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
Most of their championships are early like history.
Yeah. It's like when the Packers brag about their championship.
Yeah.
Most of these things were
There was 6 teams.
Right. Yeah. There were 6 teams and no black people. Calm down.
You're not wrong.
He's not wrong.
You're not.
I don't know.
Wrong.
Do you wanna take a couple of fan questions and we can get out of here, Sam?
Sure. Well, we did that one. So here's one from Brian.
It's a great question, Brian. The Japanese baseball equivalent would be every mascot, which major leagues have a couple of good mascots. Japan takes it to the next level. So at some point, just pick your favorite team that you want to follow. Just look up the 12 different mascots and decide which one seems to fit your likes a little bit more, and follow that team. The mascots are incredible.
Which one do I want to objectify the most?
Probably the carp. Probably the carp.
Carp with a normal number of eyes.
Yeah,
carp.
Maybe a ham fighter. It's like we're in the Thanksgiving season.
Let me look up.
We might all be fighting ham in a little bit.
Yeah, ham fighter. Another nickname I had in college. Is there? Is there anything else? Is there anything else you got, Sam? Or
I'll give you one last thing.
Okay.
One last thing. Something that I wish we would do here. So every Japan series, so every championship series comes out with two awards, right? The MVP, which we do, and then the FSA. You want to take a stab at what that stands for?
Yeah, flexible spending account.
No. In the NPB.
Future sex addiction.
Yeah.
But also, I hope you have a guest that talks about flexible spending accounts at some point, because I have no idea what.
Well, I mean,
what that means.
Beefloaf's an accountant. No.
Yeah, that's a good point. Good point. Sam, you said future sex. What?
Future sex addiction.
Addiction. That's close. If you're picking by mascot, maybe. But no, FSA, Fighting Spirit Award, which is given to the best player for the losing team of the Japan series.
I like that.
Right? Good. And then you don't have to have the stupid arguments about like, oh, well, he was definitely the best, but his team lost, so we can't give him the MVP. Well, sure. There's a Fighting Spirit Award for you, sir. And it's just as good as winning.
I'm sure they feel that way too.
Yeah,
no doubt. I wish that I think I've long held that the MLB should do 2 MVPs the way, or rather, wait, who's the one that does that? The
like
MLB,
an outstanding player.
Yeah, I mean, just I don't know.
Yeah, Sam, great find.
This is the carp mascot, and it's not a carp at all.
That is not a carp at all. However,
I am very disappointed.
we don't know what carp look like over there. I'm just saying.
Yes, the Japanese carp.
We may have done some stuff with the groundwater over there, and
I was expecting just a giant magic carp.
just
I think he's magic.
live and let live.
Yeah,
That's what
of
we
course,
always
dude.
say.
They
Live
are
and let
magic.
live.
I shouldn't assume. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, that's what we always say.
Oh, let's pop up a few more. How about this one? Ever check out any baseball anime?
I have not, but I will now, Andy. What should I Google search to get to the anime of choice? And that might be true, Brian. I don't know. Maybe. It seems very on brand.
Yeah.
Search blacked out climax series plus anime.
Got it. Will do.
There you go. There you go.
And a little bit of baseball.
Just a little bit. Tiny bit.
There's bound to be balls.
Yeah.
Great.
I mean, there's certain bases people are, getting to.
That's right. That's right. It's a highbrow show for educated individuals.
You're right.
Licensed college professor, our guest, Steve Kniss.
Oh, no, an undisclosed college professor.
One of the greatest minds we've ever.
Molding young minds everywhere.
Oh,
it reminds me. I had a student who was really into the NPB when I taught at DePaul, and he came in week 1 wearing a Seiya Suzuki jersey, and I attacked him week 1. First meeting,
Kick the shit out of him.
I'm
I
like,
beat the fuck out of that.
as we're like introducing ourselves and what we do. He comes up and I say some shit anti-Cubs. It does not get taken very well. And find out later on, like 2 or 3 weeks later, he's a huge Cardinals fan, and he was only wearing the Cubs jersey because he was really into the NPB. And so when Seiya Suzuki came over, super excited about that. And so I was like, well, why
You just crushed this kid's hopes and dreams.
and you don't like the Cubs either. Why do it? Oh man.
Why all the animosity, man?
Yeah, live and
And that's why he moved. He's not allowed back in the state.
yeah.
Well,
too many Cubs fans that I would attack at first sight.
Steve, I have one more question for you.
Yes, sir.
You're a film guy. Are you?
I am.
Are you available to direct the next Climax series?
Yes, I am. Yeah. You should. There's a great film called Climax.
Great film.
Directed by Gaspar Noé, a French filmmaker. Very it's good. But probably don't be in like full state of sobriety when you watch it.
So just like with The Room.
All right, done.
Yeah.
That's easy.
Great. Go seek it out.
Give me something hard to do or difficult.
Yeah. Either way.
That's actually dialogue from Climax. You have seen it. Okay.
Hey!
Great.
I love chain smoking acrobats. Well, Steve, this has been fantastic. I've learned so much that I won't retain, just as I do every time I do this show.
I don't believe you. I think you're going to retain more than ever.
I think I'm just going to watch a shitload of NPB YouTube clips now. And just
go once the season's on, just follow Pitching Ninja. He's like been the biggest advocate for the league.
That's good to hear. They need white people to really push their product. Is there anything you want to leave the people with before we get out of here?
Sure. Tadahito Iguchi managed for many years in the NPB. As of like last year, I think he was with the Marines until last year. He's no longer with them anymore.
Shingo as well, right?
Shingo is a current manager. Yeah, he's with the Tokyo Yakult Swallows. He's been there. I think he's been there a shorter amount of time than Iguchi was with the Marines. I could be wrong about that, but also why I was a huge advocate for potentially, like, did he officially interview for the Sox manager position?
No way. No.
I remember seeing his name get tossed out at some point, but it might have just been like
it was people probably wanting them to.
But it would have been great, right? Because well, I was gonna say because they like to bring in like friends and family of the players that they want to sign, but that has not worked historically. But Sasaki, I mean, that was his manager. So like hire him and then in 3 years pay for the most for Roki Sasaki.
That's too much thought, Steve. That's too much thought.
That's why Han got fired. But
yeah.
Getz is forward thinking.
And we hired Getz so that we don't have to do a rebuild. Quick, don't look at this Aaron Bummer trade.
What? Those are five starters.
That was a huge steal. What are you talking about? We fleeced them.
We sure did.
You see how excited Nicky Lopez is to play for the Sox?
Man, Mike Soroka.
We just want players that want to be here. It's a great trade.
Soroka's ready to stay healthy and give it his all.
Oh yeah,
me too.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Steve. We appreciate this coming on the show. Love doing this show with everybody who likes to come on. Stoop, you got anything you want to close out with?
No, I don't.
Very good.
Thank God. Okay.
I was worried for a minute if he had a thought in his head. I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, people do worry about those. Luckily, they're few and far between.
And they're usually with the authorities. Well, thank you so much, Steve. Thank you, everybody who watched and commented along. We will be back with the show in 2 weeks. There will be no ASSjacent this Thursday. It is Thanksgiving, so watch football.
Thanks, God damn it.
Yeah, give as many thanks as you can. Thank us by subscribing to this channel and liking this episode if you haven't already. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Turkey.